Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching Highlander by Russell Mulcahy starring Christopher Lambert and Clancy Brown. At least those are the actors I'm aware of. I don't think I've heard of or watched any of the films this director made, but I definitely heard of Highlander before. I got a lot of requests to watch this film after reviewing Flash Gordon, since just like that movie, Queen was apparently involved in making the music for this one. Queen is one of my favorite bands ever, so I'm looking forward to the soundtrack of this movie. And I'm not too sure what this film is about, except it being a fantasy movie, and Clancy Brown plays the antagonist. I only got to know about that because I watched The Green Mile on the channel, and a lot of comments were about Clancy Brown and how he was awesome in Highlander. My brother also watched Highlander recently and told me to watch out for the line, "There can be only one," whatever that means. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reactions to this film and over 100 movies, early access and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along, of course. The link's in the description below, by the way. Please consider being a Patreon. Please subscribe to the channel. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. Highlander, Mulcahy, Lambert, Brown. Let's go.
Living many secret lives, struggling to reach the time of the gathering, when the few who remain will battle to the last.
Highlander. It starts off with a Queen song. I knew it was Sean Connery's voice. I knew it. He has such a distinctive voice, Sean Connery. Songs and additional music by Queen. I had no idea Sean Connery was starring in the film.
725 pounds!
Man, wrestling in the 80s and 90s was just so entertaining. And it actually looks like a real event. Look at the camera work and the people and stuff. Ooh, that's Chris Lambert. I've only seen Chris Lambert in Mortal Kombat 1995 as Raiden. Are those visions or flashbacks? A young Chris Lambert kind of reminds me of Dennis Quaid for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's their facial structure. Or Thomas Jane. Yeah, I think he looks a little like a younger Thomas Jane.
McLeod.
Fazil. Wait.
They have swords! So that was a flashback. Now I'm wondering whether they're immortal or not. Okay, the action is a little cheesy, but it's working. But the sets are beautiful. And so is the camera work. It's very handheld and grounded. No blood. And an insane sword. That was pretty cool. I literally have no idea what's going on, except that Lambert's character might be ageless being. That was a beautiful transition. It is him! He has the same name, McLeod.
1536!
1536. He's been alive for at least 450 years. This is very intriguing. Look at the beautiful cinematography, the costumes. Clancy Brown.
There is one called Connor among them. The boy is mine.
Oh. I have to applaud the director for creating such a contrast between the past and the present. I've seen better battle scenes, honestly, but considering the budget, which doesn't look very high, this is very well done.
Fight me, damn you!
No, that's gonna McGill!
Fight me, you coward!
No, not him!
Oh, nobody's fighting him because Clancy Brown's character wants to kill him.
fight me.
Clancy Brown makes such a good antagonist.
There can be only one.
There can be only one.
Another time, McCloud!
Looks like he didn't finish the job.
Well, Mr. Nash, where were you going?
He has a false identity, Nash.
Give me it! Give me it!
Beautiful camera work. Honestly, the lighting is mighty impressive because this is all done manually.
It is over.
I don't think he himself knows that he's immortal.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this one came unassembled.
She's recovering the sword.
A sword, Frank, a very rare sword.
So they probably think he was after the sword or something. Interesting. The story's got me hooked.
Okay, his name is Aman Fazil, and you fought about the price and cut off his head.
Want to hear another theory? This Fazil was so upset about lousy wrestling tonight. He went down to the garage and in a fit of depression cut off his own head.
You a faggot, Nash?
Why, Goldfield? You cruising for a piece of ass?
Whoa! That's assault! That is criminal assault. The police can get fired over that.
Am I under arrest?
Not yet.
Then we're through.
They don't have enough evidence to charge him, I guess. The story is coming together. Love the music.
Victor Kruger, room 315.
Okay, so he's clearly after Connor. And he has his own sword. And now I'm pretty sure the person Connor killed in the garage was also an immortal, and that released a lot of energy or something.
I'm Candy.
Of course you are.
Pieces of metal. Found them on a dead guy under the garden.
Fragments of metal on a human body? That must be unusual for her. That policewoman is here at exactly the same time. Oh no. Oh, she's collecting more samples. Again, this is Freddie Mercury's voice.
I'd like to walk you home, Brenda.
I can take care of myself.
Be quiet.
He's already tracked Connor down.
Nice to see you again, McCloud. Can be only one.
There can be only one. This is the second time we've heard that.
Put your hands on your head.
Another time, Highlander.
Don't you ever follow me again.
He should have died.
I say it's got the devil in him.
They think it's witchcraft.
What's the matter, dude?
He's in league with Lucifer.
You've the devil in you.
This is probably the reason he had to leave his clan. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
There'll be no banning here today. We'll banish him.
No! Burn him!
Wasn't she like completely in love with him the previous night?
Then go while you still can.
I think he just gave him the sword. Look at these locations. Oh man. Oh. Jeez. Well, technically he is an antique dealer, so he has a legitimate excuse to have all of these antiques, which he probably collected himself over the years. Looks like he found a wife and a place to live.
You can do that to me forever if you like, my lord.
Wow. Those words probably have more weight to them than she realizes. Sir Shan Connery.
Greetings.
Another legend.
What do you want?
You.
Who are you?
We are the same, McCloud. We are brothers!
He has to be another immortal, but we're not seeing him in the present yet. Ancient sword making. Oh, that makes sense. That's why she was so intrigued.
Sometimes, McCloud, the sharpest blade is not enough.
Creative transition number 3.
I cannot swim, you Spanish peacock.
Get out! No! You can't drown, you fool! You're immortal!
This is the first time he heard the words that he's immortal. They actually probably built a huge tank to shoot these scenes.
This cannot be. It's the devil's work.
Even he thinks so.
Because you were born different, men will fear you. You must learn to conceal your special gift until the time of the gathering.
It's a training montage, technically.
If your head comes away from your neck, it's over. Off balance.
Connor.
If it came down to just us two, would you take my head?
That's a perfectly valid question, by the way.
We must fight until only one remains.
Give me your hand, brother.
Wow, he started off hating him, and now there's a mutual respect.
But what I want is a family.
You cannot have a family. We cannot have children.
Oh,
You must leave her, brother.
what an existential crisis he must be having right now.
MacLeod, when Shakiko died, I was shattered. I would save you that pain. That Black Knight was a Kurgan. He is the strongest of all the immortals. If he wins the prize, mortal man would suffer an eternity of darkness. In the end, there can be only one.
There can be only one. It finally is making sense. There can only be one immortal at the end, and it better be a good one.
Oh, would you like some more wine?
Heather, get out.
What's wrong?
Where's Connor?
Where is he?
You're too late. I've prepared him for you.
You waste your time.
And that's where he got his scar from. Don't tell me he kills the girl. Jeez.
Who is the woman?
She's mine.
There can be only one.
There can be only one. And this is the only way to kill an immortal, by separating the head from the body. He's absorbing his power somehow. The same thing with what happened to Connor in the parking lot.
Hello, pretty.
What are you looking at, Rachel?
People are asking about you. What am I supposed to say?
Tell them I'm immortal.
Oh, she knows. This is World War One.
Quiet. Don't be afraid.
Everybody's dead.
I'm like you. I'm alone. Come with me, Rachel.
Yeah, it's World War II. That's a Nazi.
You're alive. Why didn't you die?
It's a kind of magic.
How about loneliness?
I'm not lonely. I've got everything I need right here.
Come in.
Where are you going?
I forgot my earrings.
Interesting view. I said interesting view.
You bastard. Where did you find this?
Your bio doesn't mention the Met. It says you work for the police.
What are you gonna do?
The question is, what are you gonna do? You gonna turn off the tape, or are you gonna shoot me with a 45?
I am not looking for a killer. I am looking for a sword. If I could verify the existence of such a weapon, it would be like discovering a 747 1,000 years before the Wright brothers ever flew.
Wow, I didn't realize the significance of that.
You must leave her, brother.
Is this thing that fills our dreams?
I love Freddie Mercury. I love Freddie Mercury's voice. This is a very appropriate song as well. Who wants to live forever? The idea is very interesting, living forever, but nobody probably wants to live forever.
I've never really known
What?
why you stayed.
Because I love you as much now as the first day we met.
I don't want to die. I want to stay with you. Will you do something for me, Connor?
This is weirdly emotional. I didn't expect that.
Will you light a candle and remember me on my birthday?
I love.
He burnt his house because he has no purpose for that anymore. What a beautiful scene.
Seems like 100 years.
It's been 100 years.
So, the gathering is here.
Don't ever speak to me.
This is a classic Queen song, Hammer to Fall. Love this song. Oh man. If I shot somebody full of lead and they disappeared, I'd be freaking the heck out. Jeez, he's intimidating. Decent explosions.
Mom.
Is that him?
Nope. He had a scar across his neck. That ain't him.
Hey, Moran.
Headhunter 3 Cop 0.
He's a guy who's been creeping around since at least 1700.
It's not possible.
Obviously.
For you, my bunny Heather.
He still lights a candle on her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Castigear is gone. Only you and I remain.
That means they are the only remaining immortals.
Who cuts your hair?
Ugh.
I am in disguise.
What do you want?
Your head. And the prize.
Safety pins on his neck.
Ramirez's blade did not cut deeply enough.
I took his head and raped his woman before his blood was even cold.
Oh.
She was not his woman. She was your woman.
Jeez.
And she never told you. Goodbye, McLeod. We will meet soon enough. It's better to burn out than to fade away.
It's better to burn out than to fade away? That was the last line of Kurt Cobain's suicide note. I thought it was Kurt Cobain's words.
What are you doing here?
I'm looking for a dead guy named Nash.
I think he kind of has to come clean right now because she knows a little too much.
I've been alive for 4.5 centuries. Work. I can't get involved, not again.
Most people are afraid to die. You're afraid to live. Don't lose your head.
Hello, pretty.
Yeah, I don't think he's crazy. I think he's just lived for too long.
Your friend is a real screamer. I'll be waiting.
Rachel, there are some instructions in the desk drawer. There's a power of attorney for you.
You're not coming back. Even if you kill him, you're not coming back.
Sweet Rachel, you always knew this would happen. Russell Nash dies tonight. Hey, it's a kind of magic.
Oh, man. He's taking down the whole scaffolding. Brenda's in real trouble. Like I said before, the film is like really good. The only weakness I found is the actual choreography of the action sequences. The cinematography of the film has been solid. Most of the darkly lit shots are beautiful and well thought out. Good for her.
What kept you?
That was a good one-liner. Again, this is a gorgeously lit scene. Oh, that was satisfying.
There can be only one.
There can be only one, and there is only one. Oh, what a scene. The special effects here are not the best, but again, considering the budget, not bad. Tricky. The last remaining immortal.
So, this is where it all began. Can you tell me about the prize?
It's like a whirlwind in my head. But if I concentrate, I know what people are thinking all over the world. I can help them understand each other.
Wow.
What am I thinking?
You're thinking whether or not you can love me. I'm just like you. I can love and have children, live and grow old. You never prepared me for that, you Spanish peacock.
The prize is mortality.
Patience, Highlander. You have power beyond imagination. Don't lose your head.
That was a really good movie, guys. There can be only one. Very satisfying. Thank you for the recommendations. Okay, I took some time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was so much fun. I didn't expect to enjoy a lower budget fantasy film so much, but I did. Unlike Flash Gordon, Queen's music wasn't central to the story here, but I'm not complaining for a second. Mercury was and is the king for me. Now that that's out of the way, this film was surprisingly good. The story, writing, concepts, cinematography, editing, and the music were its strengths in my opinion, whereas the weakness would be the fight choreography. Let's start with the directing by Russell Mulcahy. I'm just going to call him the director. And the script by Gregory Wyden, Peter Bellwood, and Larry Ferguson. The writers and the director start the story off relatively slow with the introduction to the immortal Connor MacLeod. As he defeats another immortal, we slowly get to know his powers with an excellent transition to the 1500s where more exposition is given to his character and his clan and where he's generally from, the Scottish Highlands. This is where we also get introduced to the Kurgan, the most powerful immortal who wants to kill everyone else, by everyone I mean other immortals, and claim the prize. What the prize was carefully and smartly avoided till the final act, which was a great choice by the way, and that kept the audience's interest throughout the runtime. The reveal was very satisfying because the prize turned out to be unlimited knowledge and mortality. Thinking of it now, looking back, it's kind of obvious, but I honestly didn't see it coming, which is a good thing. The film followed a traditional three-act structure. In the first act, we get introduced to the characters and the mythology of the world. The second act was mostly dominated by Ramirez, Connery's character, training Connor for his inevitable battle with the Kurgan. And the final act was the actual confrontation itself. In the midst of all of this, there was a subplot involving Brenda and her quest to find the source of this mysterious Japanese sword that has been folded 200 times that Connor was wielding. That subplot was very interesting. I think it wasn't completely necessary, but it added depth to the story. Highlander deals mainly with the theme of immortality and the sacrifices that come along with it. It asks the question, would you want to live forever? In the form of Freddie Mercury's voice in a song. Living forever might sound great at first, or at first glance, but honestly, would you really want to see your loved ones die over and over again? That sounds terrible. That would make you desensitized to the world and life itself, the value of life, I mean. It was very interesting to see how differently the Kurgan and Connor handled this. Living forever means that human interactions are pretty much meaningless. And the prize being mortality was extremely fitting, and that made the story even better. The conclusion was pretty predictable though, with Connor killing the Kurgan and being the last immortal left. Technically, there was none left as he became mortal at the end. I also appreciated the fact that their immortality and how they became that way was not addressed at all. There was a throwaway line about why does the sun rise So this explanation would have probably cheapened the story and would have been too reductive in my opinion. So great choice. Anyways, the overall writing and the directing of the film was solid. The cinematography of Highlander was stellar, one of the strengths of the film, one of the highlights for me. Considering the budget, it was honestly impressive. From the Scottish Highlands to the beautiful cliffs and the landscape shots, the lighting work, particularly in the darker scenes in New York City, they were just gorgeous. You could really tell that this film was a labor of love for the production team. The transitions used in the film were very creative, especially the time jump moments. I think there were 3 or 4 of them. That really commanded the attention of the audience, and that's the reason I think the editing of the film was great. The fighting scenes were unfortunately a weakness for me, as the choreography was a little too weak, or maybe it was the camera work. I can't put my finger on it, but for a film primarily about sword fights, there were quite a few scenes. It could have been done a little better. The music of the film was excellent. You already heard me falling in love with Mercury's voice all over again, so I'll keep the fanboying to a minimum. Just know that I loved it. The sound design itself was pretty good too in both eras. I love the contrast between the bustling sounds of New York City and the lively villages of Scotland. The noises made by the quickening and the sounds made by the clanking of the swords, they were satisfying too. Awesome work in this department. The sets and prop of the film, they were very good considering the budget. Again, I love the stark contrast between the past and the present. The sets were varied, and I would say they looked realistic for the most part. I loved all the props made for the film, including the antiques and the actual swords made for the characters too. Moving on to the 3 main leads, Christopher Lambert played Connor MacLeod. At first, I found his performance to be a little too subdued and stoic, but I quickly changed my mind halfway through the runtime when I realized that there were narrative reasons for it. I think the reason his performance was so reserved was the fact that his character couldn't allow himself to be emotionally attached to any mortal being, since he knew that he would lose them eventually, like his beloved Heather. There was also a noticeable difference between his accents in the past and the present, and that goes to show the dedication of the actor to his role. Clancy Brown played the Kurgan. His acting here was the clear standout for me. He had the most unhinged and intimidating presence. From the outside, he probably looked and sounded crazy, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't. He was quite sane. He was just so confident in being immortal, being alive for thousands of years, knowing that he cannot die. And I think that was the reason, at least the main reason, for his outlandish behavior. I really enjoyed his performance overall. It's between this and the Green Mile. He can really play a great antagonist. Finally, Sir Sean Connery played Ramirez. He had a huge name, but I'll just call him Ramirez, the immortal who ended up training Connor. Although this clearly wasn't Connery's best acting work, he was still very good in his role as the mentor figure. I expected him to die, as I did not see him in the future, but he did most of his work before his death. I also like the fact that his voice was still referenced several times after he died, showing that even after he died, he was technically immortal, in the sense that his teachings still guided Connor even as he faced off against arguably the strongest being on the planet. Good stuff. As for criticisms, I've already mentioned the main one I had of the film, the fight choreography. But apart from that, overall, Highlander was an excellent film, an excellent fantasy film that stood the test of time. The directing, concepts, cinematography, editing, and the music were excellent. And the performances by Lambert, Brown, and Connery weren't bad too. This is a film I will be rewatching every couple of years when I want to feel immortal. Thank you for the recommendation, guys. By the way, I heard that there might be a remake of this film starring Henry Cavill. Personally, I don't think it's a very good idea to remake a cult classic like this, but I'd love to hear your opinions about it. There can be only one. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.
There can be only one.